One very change that I see since last 1 decade is the confident India.
I think financial inclusion is essential for any economy that aspires to grow.
I think true benefits of financial inclusion can only be realized when we club digital payments to it.
Today, 40% of payments which is happening in India are digitally, and UPI has a lion's share, almost 80%.
So I think combining financial services and technology is here to stay, whether it's fintech.
This whole ecosystem, including government, financial institutions, fintechs, and even community at large will have to come together, make concerted efforts.
So creating a very agile startup culture in the otherwise a larger, much settled conglomerate. Hi everyone, I am Darshana Shah and I welcome you all to In the Spotlight, the podcast by Aditya Birla Capital. This podcast is for viewers to benefit from conversations with all our leaders and experts across all our solutions on loans, investments, insurance and payments. Today's episode focuses on using the power of technology to handle our money better. As we know, post-pandemic, smartphones in India have doubled. And not only that, our country has also crossed 1 billion smartphones last year. So mostly all of us literally have technology hamari muthi mein. But how can we use it to handle our money better by using all these apps and technologies? This is what we are going to discuss today. And today I have with us our guest, who is someone who has been the driving force in bringing the Fintech platform live in Aditya Birla Capital just within 12 months to make finance as simple as ABCD. So let's welcome Bhargavi Sridharan, and along with her I have another special guest who has created differentiated digital payment solutions on ABCD platform, Sirish Mathur. Hello Bhargavi and Sirish, and welcome to In the Spotlight. And as you know, in this episodes, we have a lot of questions coming from our viewers, and this time even I am very excited to ask you all a lot of questions. One very change that I see since last 1 decade is the confident India. The way the Indians are moving towards globally being seen. And one of the initiatives that I clearly remember is the Digital India Mission, which was launched by the government on 2015. And that has brought a lot of empowerment to the country, a lot of technology, and has brought rural and the urban population connected together. And one of the big things for us to discuss today is the digital financial inclusion. And I want to know your views, Bhargavi, about that, because a lot of fintechs have come, with this whole digital financial inclusion, with technology. So what are your views in that? How do you see it?
Hi Darshana, great to be here with you and Sirish in the spotlight. I think financial inclusion is essential for any economy that aspires to grow, partly because it then makes you count all of the GDP, and partly because it catalyzes growth itself, right? Money is a great multiplier.
So digital financial inclusion, this is ensuring that all individuals and businesses, particularly those in underserved communities, have access to and can effectively use a range of quality financial services digitally.
So I think with the JAM Trinity, the government way back, Jan Dhan Yojana pe wo accounts khole the. We forget, but that's where it all started, and then came the UPI, and then came the whole bunch of insurances that they gave out. So I think it's great that the government is bringing into the formal domain, creating a footprint, financial footprint for every individual who may originally not have been privileged to have a bank account that was perhaps had a minimum banking, minimum value, that amount that you had to keep there, etc. So given that that's where we are, and of course UPI has made it possible for so many people to access credit on the back of their otherwise cash transactions. It's a great one. The GST change that happened has made it possible for again so many people to access loans on the back of their GST footprint. So I think while we have made great strides, I think it's very early days yet, and we will see a lot more. So perhaps at the time of your retirement or my retirement, we will find a very different India, and I think an India that we will be very proud of. And it all started in 2015, like you said.
So Sirish, what is your take on it?
So first, Darshana, let me congratulate you. I think this series has been a hit. Post our last episode, right? I
Yes.
received so many calls from my known ones, friends, and they really appreciated it. Coming back to the question, as Bhargavi said, I think true benefits of financial inclusion can only be realized when we club digital payments to it, and Bhargavi spoke about UPI. If you see, look at direct benefit transfer, right, where subsidies now are going on a real-time basis directly to the beneficiary in their bank accounts, and that has reduced so many leakages. It has made the whole process faster. I can talk about an Aadhaar-enabled payments, right, where even anybody who has minimal literacy level can still make digital payments using biometric, and can avail so many. It has opened so many avenues, right, to make payments, avail so many services. UPI, we all know, has been a game changer. And I think, and in fact, I would want to give credit to government, financial institutions, fintechs, right, for making this turning this all into a reality. But in my view, this is a journey. So I think there is a lot to cover right now, and this whole ecosystem, including government, financial institution, fintechs, and even community at large, will have to come together, make concerted efforts. And if we are able to do that, I'm sure we'll be able to unlock India's true economic potential.
I think that's what we are looking towards. But since we spoke about payment, and surprisingly, the data point that I was reading, that today 40% of payments that is happening in India are digitally, and UPI has a lion's share, almost 80%. And I was traveling abroad last month, and out of habit, I was looking for the QR code, और वहाँ पे नहीं था. And you just see the change that India has brought. I mean, today our fruit wala, to that chane wala, the peanut wala, to our malls, to everything, everywhere there is UPI. So, Sirish, where do you see this trend going?
No, I agree. We are so used to taking out a mobile, right? And I mean, wallet ki jagah mobile aa gaya.
Correct.
So, no, I agree with you. And in fact, just to corroborate your example, the other day I was at a bustling market. I wanted to pick up some mangoes, and it was a local street hawker, right? And I was able to make payments to that hawker, right, using UPI by taking out my phone. But that's not the point. The point is, the same day in the evening, I was actually going for a movie with my family, and you all know, like always, we get late, right, in starting for the movie, and in that hurry, in that rush, I forgot my wallet at home. But imagine, right from making that parking payment at the mall to picking up popcorns for the kids during interval, and then doing some shopping after the movie, I actually didn't realize that I need any cash, right, or a card. I was able to whip out my phone, make those payments, and that's what UPI has done to all of us in India. And what we don't realize, but what is adding to this whole surge and this whole push to digital payments is that all the innovations you see in UPI that has happened in last 6-7 years are very additive in nature. UPI is not trying to replace any other thing. UPI started with bank link payments, where you were able to make payment to your bank account. It doesn't attempt to actually replace your credit cards or remove wallet as an option. In fact, it has added credit cards as an option, right? Now you can even use your wallets or prepaid instruments using UPI. So it is actually expanding its horizon, right, taking all possible modes into its ambit, and that is where you see increasing usage on a day-to-day basis.
And on your note on this whole mobile usage, the way we are using, and that's my next question, and the audience being the Gen Zs. And like we know that the mobile penetration in India and rural India has doubled. I saw the last data that 1 billion smartphones has last year was sold in India. So I mean, that's amazing that everybody is constantly on the phone, tapping, swiping, all our social interactions, everything we are doing on the phone. But as important as something as managing our finances, that also today we are doing on our phone. And I also read that 80% plus is where the entire usage and driving all your financial usage is today happening through the phone. So Bhargavi, tell me more about this whole fintech, the revolution and the fintech platform that ABCD has created, and you and team have done wonderful job that in ek saal ke andar, in 12 months, you all have created such a mammoth task. So tell me more about that.
I think the fintech, when Sirish was speaking, he mentioned how, it was also the fintechs who played a role in broadening and taking the government stack to all of the country. The investments were made, and then I think a lot of the traditional financial institutions cottoned on. So I think combining financial services and technology is here to stay, whether it's TechFin, FinTech, right? And I think it's great for the financial services world. It's great for consumers. For us at Aditya Birla Capital, we've of course always been investing heavily in technology in all of our group companies, and we've invested, I think, consistently over the years. I think bringing it all together, ABCD, Aditya Birla Capital Digital, and then we made it a short name called ABCD. It brings all our group's efforts together in one package to the end consumer. Whereas, of course, earlier also we served it up, but we served it up individually. So, health insurance served it up separately, life insurance served it up separately, AMC served it up separately. So, we have just put an umbrella wrapper around all of our group's continuing investments in technology to take it directly to the consumer. That's what we've done. And how did we do it so fast? I think it helps to have a great team. So, firstly, divide and conquer. So, Sirish took care of payments, and then we took care of bringing together all of the efforts around our group companies. And I think working in an agile, iterative fashion, with the teams being very clear of what we were looking to build, great sponsorship from the management and the board, great sponsorship by each of the group companies because they believed in the vision, because otherwise it wouldn't have happened. They've reprioritized ABCD and then had to sort of push other projects down, and I think always grateful to them for making it happen. And I think we came together as a team to make it happen, and here we are.
No, awesome. But what is very interesting is that, making finances as simple as ABCD. Where did this kind of an insight come, and like, what's the journey been like? Because calling it ABCD, I mean, intuitively nobody would have thought of it. But you have the whole journey of simplifying it. So just can you throw more light on that?
So when we started ABCD, firstly we had a complicated job because this is a lot of services for any individual to consume. And a customer does not consume all of these at the same time. When you're looking for a loan, you're not looking for a mutual fund. When you're looking for a credit card, you're not looking for life insurance at that point, right? Absolutely. So each of your needs are different, but at the same time having a plethora of apps for each individual need on your mobile phone also consumes a lot of real estate, and we know that space on the mobile is precious. So we face these two conflicting things, helping the customer find the right thing at the right time and bringing all our products and services under one without cluttering it up. So the core element of simplicity came from the customers themselves because they kept saying finance is complicated.
So that's the insight. But like there are many apps and banks have tried to simplify it. So what is the reason, and this is to both of you all, that why will the consumer use this? Because there are, like you said, there are many apps. The real estate on the mobile is very precious today, and all of them are trying to say that we'll give you everything under one roof. So why should a consumer come to our ABCD platform and use it?
First up, I think we have a great payment stack, and that payment stack, while of course the payments market has deep embedded players, I think Sirish and team have done a great job in terms of building in some key differentiators. Sirish, would you like to sort of talk about what are the cool new stuff that you have in payments?
No, I think whether it's payment or all other financial solutions on the app, right? One thing I think we did was we really went deep into understanding what customer needs, and the whole proposition is designed around experience, the feature that customer gets, and the reward that customer also gets while using these services and also availing these products. To talk about payments, there are value proposition which are first of its kind on the app. There are some value proposition which are there, but you do not generally find them across on most of the platforms.
But tell us more, Sirish, because there is so much. There's Google, PhonePe, Paytm. I mean, there is many things, and all the banks have their own wallets and solutions. So why will a consumer want to use our solution? So what have you done differently?
So as I told you, there are a lot of things, and any user would find a complete payments package on this app. But to name a few, we have introduced a feature which is first of its kind, and we call it as multi-account pay. Now what that simply is that you can actually make a single payment transaction using multiple accounts. I don't know, but there was this feedback, and in fact I have faced it many times when I was trying to make high ticket or high value payment, right? And I didn't have enough balance in one of the accounts while there was balance in two of my accounts. Now using this feature, I need not move out of the transaction, right, and ensure that I have balance in one account, because normally you make payment from one account. Here I can in the same transaction link multiple accounts and use multiple account to make the payment. And this
that is interesting. So if I don't have it I can have it going
so you don't need to forfeit the transaction,
so
come out. And
next thing will be for him to magically add money to your bank.
Similarly, on the collect side, while I spoke about payment, whenever you have to collect money from somebody else, that's also really convenient, and you can either trigger a link to the other person to collect payment. You can throw up your QR code, generate a dynamic QR code on the app on the fly and collect payment. So even collecting payments have become easier. We have also taken into account the security aspect, because when it comes to digital payments, people really are really finicky about security. And it would have happened, right, when we make a bank transfer, and I'm sure all of us make bank transfer. While transferring an account, we typically have to enter account number, IFSC code. And in fact, I at least check it 3-4 times, right, that I have entered the right account number and whether I'm sending the payment to the right person. What we have done is, when you are trying to actually do a bank transfer using UPI on ABCD app, we automatically validates the Veni details. I think Bhargavi spoke about this whole phenomenon of credit on UPI. We are one of the first ones who enabled, and you can link your RuPay credit card for making your UPI payments. The example you spoke about when you were traveling abroad, right? We have made UPI International live on the app. So there are now, if I'm not wrong, 7 countries where you can travel and use ABCD app to scan the QR code and make payments.
Awesome. So I think we are the first ones.
So next time you plan your trip, you will be able to actually use that.
This is interesting. But Bhargavi, what more beyond payments? What are the other?
I think it's always been customer centric through the entire process. The second thing core that we did was we've really made it clutter breaking. Any financial services app, if you see, it's got an endless scroll and there's got these little square icons that just don't end, and it's very hard for you to discover what you want.
Yeah.
By muscle memory, if you do a certain action, it's okay, but if you're looking for something new, it's near impossible to find because of the amount of clutter. So if you see the way the ABCD dial app is structured, right, the homepage, it's got a really cute dialer and it's just got 5 tabs. And within those 5 tabs, your entire finances are organized and there is no need to really scroll you. So it makes discovery very easy for the customer. It gives a haptic feedback when you touch it, and it's pretty much a moment of wow for every customer the moment they first see it. So I think we've, even if I say so myself, in all humility, cracked the design, while of course we will keep working on making the services more apt and more in line with what customers want. It's an ongoing journey. So we've launched a new section, industry first if I may say so, something called My Track. Okay. The My Track section combines or brings we have a service called Portfolio Consolidator, which brings your entire net worth in one place. So all your bank accounts, all your loan accounts are all brought together and you can see it in one place. So as Sirish said, ek account mein paisa hai, kaun se account mein, so he can check here before he initiates his payment. So that is a very cool feature, and we've also got credit score which enhances and lets the customer know. So now this feature is of course available in some other apps as well or products as well. But the cool interesting thing is how you can improve your credit score. Why is your credit score what it is? Often you don't get those answers. So that is mentioned, and I think that's something that people like, and you can also simulate your score. So what will happen to my score if I borrow? What will happen to my score if I prepay my housing loan?
Very nice.
You can check that out. So that's another cool feature. We've got a health track, which is this selfie that you can take, and it gives you a wellness score that's based on 24 parameters.
Wow.
So आपको इधर उधर डॉक्टर का पैसा बचा लो, at least it's a first cut, and it's something that you can repeat every month.
Oh wow.
So you can do that, and it's quite addictive actually. And the other feature that we have is spend analyzer. So given that you're spending so much, whether on UPI in our app or elsewhere, you've directly got bank account transfers going on, we can automatically categorize those and put it in buckets for you to see where you've spent, and we can suggest a automated budget using AI for you, or you can sort of then tweak that yourself. Similarly, our life insurance and health insurance journeys are quite intuitive, far simpler. There are customers who are conversant, who are repeat purchasers of life insurance, and there are customers buying it for the first time. So we've separated the journeys. We ask you, are you a novice, or are you have you purchased it before? And depending on that, your journey separates based on needs or based on suggestions that we can make. So that's a cool thing. In our investment section, you can do, of course, mutual funds. You can do digital gold starting from 1 rupee. Nice. So it's a very inclusive app in that
1
sense.
1 rupee mein gold?
1 rupee mein gold, socho aap. And Akshaya Tritiya pe I think we had great traction.
A lot of customers.
A lot of traction we had for the digital gold. So we have the stockbroking solutions, and all of which we keep enhancing. So that's how the investment section is structured. And if you go to the lending section, it's a huge hit because pretty much I think 50% of our audience gravitates there. Everybody likes to see what's my offer. So we have offers for pre-approved offers for our customers. The second is that we do both secured, unsecured loans, which PL to common hai market mein, but we also do housing loans on the app. And we take you till financial sanction.
And people are buying, taking...
Yes, and it's a true financial sanction. So which means it is based on, it is not a generic ki, chalo, darshana aaya to kuch 1 crore dikha do. फिर बाद में देख लेंगे. It is actually a financial section that takes into account your financial position.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's backed on account aggregator, it's got your score involved, it's got everything, and that's quite cool. So we are only one of, I think, 3 players in the market. So in cumulative, between each of these individual protecting, investing and payments, MyTrack, etc., I think we have a whole bunch of differentiators on the app.
This is really interesting. So the, any of my bank payment, looking at it under my spend analyzer, scanning my face and seeing my wellness score. So the daily, weekly, monthly, I like the way you've bifurcated. It's like literally a day or a month in my life. I can keep using the ABCD app, and I hope all the viewers, listening to this understand that this is the coolest app and you must remember to download. So go on the link. So bringing into my next point, whilst you said that, it is, today people give a lot of offers and things to get people to switch. But like now you bought in all these cool features. So what is the way forward? Like who is the audience over here?
Okay, financial services is universal. We spoke of inclusion, so we don't like to exclude anybody. So especially when you're beginning finances, see, as an older person, right, we have all learned to navigate the maze. सीख ही लिया है, जैसे भी अच्छा करते हैं बुरा करते हैं, जैसे इंडिया के ट्रैफिक जैम में गाड़ी चलानी आती है. But the first time you're getting your learner's license and you're sitting behind that wheel, or before you get your learner's license, you're sort of learning. That's when you're at your scariest. So I think we aim to make it as simple as ABCD for those who are entering, the maze of financial services. We hope that they don't find it a maze. That's where we are targeting first income to first kid, because that's also when our customers make the most amount of transition. Life stage wise, so needs evolve. पहले आपको credit card चाहिए होता है, पहले तो savings account चाहिए होता है, फिर credit card चाहिए होता है, फिर आपको loan चाहिए होता है, फिर शादी होती है, फिर आप insurance लेते हो, घर लेते हो, बच्चा होता है, your needs evolve, health insurance लेते हो.
So the life stage
As you evolve, I think the app would like to be your companion.
Very nice.
And make it easy for you.
Nice, very nice. So your ABCD of your life journey, and ABCD is alongside with you as your companion. Very interesting. So Sirish, one of the data point that I came across is that the Indian fintech industry is going to grow at $2.1 trillion by 2030. What do you make out of this trend? What is your take on it?
Let me couple it with, I think we also spoke about the Gen Z and they wanting everything on a real time basis, and Bhargavi touched upon it. I think these two trends, while both of these are individually very strong trends, but what we have to appreciate it when we club these two trends, that is where we realize that the big transformation which is happening in the way goods and services are consumed, which is how the millennials are consuming it, and they are delivered, which is being driven by fintech. So fintechs are really making it possible to deliver these experiences, creating disruption in financial services, and providing consumers with much better, I would say much faster products, and because these products are available on one hand, and that is why the consumers, and millennials and the young India is able to consume it so seamlessly. So all the services Bhargavi spoke about, whether it is spend analyzer, portfolio consolidator, payments, your credit track, it's available on a click, and even health scan, as you can do it on a monthly basis. So it's a circle, where fintechs are playing a critical role, being the producers or providers, and consumers then get to avail it. As
on their fingertip, tips right there, now.
So
but I hope ABCD is also going to make my money grow right there. Is there any magic happening there?
There's lots of magic. So one is, of course, we've got our mutual funds, and they are one of India's longest running mutual funds, from the house of Aditya Birla Capital. So I think you will see your money grow there. We've got, of course, our ABML, through which we offer stockbroking. We've got digital gold, and gold has been and silver have been one of the fastest growing asset classes. We're going to add silver too. So you can grow your money in lots of different ways. Darshana, just give it to us and we'll go.
Interesting. I think we want more of our viewers also to download and grow their money
Absolutely.
with ABCD.
Yes. Use it to experience it. Yeah.
But one of the, currently, and when you see a lot of app usage, and also one part is data, the whole noise around how do you use my data and consent, and the second is security, because a lot of the cyber security attacks. So how are we managing that, Sirish?
I think security is at the core of ABCD app, and in my mind security operates at 3 levels. So as a user, you can only use the app once you authenticate yourself, and you can authenticate using device authentication method. Second, within that, when you are using any of the services, and especially when it comes to payments or financial services, each product has its own layer of security. So I can talk about payments. where our whole stack is certified by NPCI, right? So we are certified by NPCI in terms of adhering to all the security guidelines that they have laid out. We recently also got certified and we got PCI-DSS certification, and that's the gold standard, right, when it comes to security in digital payments. So we have ensured that not only we have taken care of it internally, but external agencies, right, who are known for it have also certified us. And the third level, which is actually core to the tech stack and the robust stack that we have built, is we have specially taken care that nothing as far as customer data is concerned, right, or this whole usage pattern is concerned, nothing gets exposed to public network or outside work, right? And there is a very solid framework around it. And not only the framework exists, we also keep on monitoring it continuously. So we are ensuring that users can come without any fear and they can use all the services, fulfill their financial needs, use payments without any fear, and we are pretty much serious about security.
So this is very good, because absolutely when it is your money, and that's where you are most worried about on security. It's not like, you know, going on some e-commerce platform and buying something. This is your own money there. So absolutely. So this is fantastic. And Bhargavi, what brings me to the next question is that whilst you guys have built a large startup ecosystem, creating a fintech platform, but we are also a large conglomerate, because Aditya Birla Group and Aditya Birla Capital is conglomerate. So creating a startup culture in a conglomerate, how did it work for you guys, and, you know, what was the team looking like?
Firstly, I think ABCL has a great culture. I think ABG has a great culture. So it was very easy, I think, and we've onboarded 400 plus employees in the last 12 months, and across all stages and ages, right? So from entry-level colleagues who are coming in as management trainees or interns and then management trainees, to far more seasoned professionals from across consulting, from banking, from other financial services organizations, from FMCG, from e-com. So we've gotten quite a varied set of customers, and all of them have settled in and started delivering from the get-go, pretty much some of them from before they got onboarded. It helps to have the brand name of Aditya Birla, which brings and talks about the storied legacy that's running for over 100, 150 years. I think within ABCL, we've made this little Aditya Birla Capital Digital, which operates on an agile iterative mode. And I think everybody was clear on the purpose. As I said, great sponsorship. And I think the team had their vision quite clear. Each product manager, each colleague in marketing, each colleague in technology, analytics, I think they all had their vision clearly carved out, and that is to conquer the minds and hearts of the consumer.
So that's very nice. So creating a very agile startup culture in the otherwise a larger, much settled conglomerate, you know, and that's the balance, or that's the double side that one can experience. So it's a complete,
it will be a complete package.
Package,
yes,
or everything,
package
all in
yes.
one, on payment solution, everything which you want to do for your finance, to whether invest, whether you want loans, whether you want to grow your money. So fantastic. And with this, thank you very much for Bhargavi and Sirish being with us today at In the Spotlight, and see you soon.
Thank you. I love being in the spotlight. Thank you, Darshana.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
And with that, we wrap up our episode. Thank you so much, Bhargavi and Sirish, for joining us today. And to our viewers, download ABCD app today and take control of your finances. See you soon in the next episode of In the Spotlight.